Hello, everyone. I am so excited to talk to you tonight. Thank you for all of those who are joining me live, and for those, I know that lots of people will be watching the replay on this. I am going to also upload this onto YouTube, so if you want to share it with anyone, please do. Yeah, let's begin. Tonight we are talking about FARMacy for families. Now, that pharmacy word is with an F and not a PH. And my name is Hayley Weezy. I am going to be taking you through as many solutions as I possibly can regurgitate for you in a short amount of time. I want to keep this short and succinct, 30 minutes, 45 at the longest. I hope you have your pen. Hey, Leonie, I hope you have your pen and paper ready. For those who already have essential oils in your life, that is amazing. I am going to absolutely cover foundational essential oils. By foundational, I mean ones that's to come in our starter kit. The reason I do that is because they're the most versatile, most popular essential oils that I hope you already have in your home. I will also cover some specific oils that may be necessary or recommended in certain situations that you might want to add to your collection if you don't yet have them already. And if you are brand new to essential oils and you've never used them before, just sit back and be marveled with all the applications that they're going to have for you in your life. And if you are someone who is yet to start their journey with essential oils, welcome and hello. Whoever has introduced you to this video or this recording or this live, go back to them, be it myself or someone else, and they can help you get started with what you need. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and all righty. Can everyone see that okay? No, I can see your face. All righty. So this is a bit of a virtual education series. I would love to do more of these as well on different topics, but tonight we're talking pharmacy for families. But I need to switch over. So just please remember that I am an educator. I'm not here to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure. I am a mother. I have a Bachelor of Applied Science. I have over 5 years of research and study on essential oils, and I have lots of, I guess, personal experiences as well with what I'm teaching through. So tonight, what you're getting in front of you is a mother who uses essential oils with her children. And yes, I understand the science behind it. And yes, I understand the chemical pathways in all the things, right? But I want to keep this simple for you so that you feel like you don't need a science degree to be able to actually utilize these effectively in your home, all right? I'm going to make the complicated simple for you. So what are your options, right? What are your options when it comes to health in your family? So prior to having essential oils in my home, I had a medicine cabinet. Looks like everyone else's medicine cabinet. It's full of things that you buy at the chemist. All right, tonight we're going to look at a slightly different pharmacy for you. Okay, because I want you to have a think about what wellness looks like. And now, even though we're going to be focusing on children tonight, and you know, ideally children aren't going to be like the lady on the left-hand side there. It doesn't mean that we can't be, I guess, teaching them as a parent, as a caregiver, how to look after themselves naturally with natural solutions. And that's really my motto. Actually, I'm going to bring the microphone closer to me, and I'm hoping that's going to be a better experience for everyone with the sound. All right, so for me, it's really important to understand also how things are made. So ideally, you know, there's things that are synthetic and there's things that are made by Mother Nature. And even though I guess I was brought up to trust and believe in scientific medicine per se in its synthetic form, as a mother, when I became a mother and when I started, I guess, my own journey, which I probably started probably a good 15 years ago, I started to trust in Mother Nature more. And it wasn't until I got into essential oils and particularly doTERRA that I realized the true power of that. And the reason behind that is that the reason why I got taught to believe in synthetic things was because they were made by a scientist, right? But the beautiful thing is what we get when we work with something like a doTERRA essential oil is you still get scientists backed by these essential oils, and that is the doTERRA lab on the right-hand side. So you do get to trust in the science for your solution, but why not do it from Mother Nature as well? So I love this quote, the greatest medicine of all is teaching people how not to need it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be creating our own little first aid kit out of plants for you. Okay, so for those who are new and maybe don't really know what's in these little bottles, they're just aromatic compounds. They're just extracts from plants, roots, bark, leaves, petals, the whole lot, right? And what the plant gives is what we bottle. That is it. There is no adulterations. There's no synthetic additives. There's nothing, all right? Just what Mother Nature has provided. And that's what makes doTERRA so unique, so transparent too. They can actually prove that, where I don't know many other companies that are proving their purity. So it is a wonderful thing to know that when you're utilizing an extract from a plant, it's very effective in the body. It's extremely safe because it's in a familiar environment, and I'm going to explain that in a minute, but it's also very concentrated. So we only need a very small amount, and I'll teach you how to utilize them in a moment in that way. So we can use them in 3 different ways. The first way I'm going to teach you about tonight, and there's going to be lots of opportunities to do that, is topically. And topically means on our skin. So let's to put that into perspective, if I'm feeling a bit congested, I might rub something over my chest, right? If I've got a sore tummy, I might apply it onto my tummy. And if I've got a sore knee, I might apply it onto my knee, right? But when we put it on our skin, we just have to make sure we always use a carrier oil of some sort, okay? That's going to protect the skin, and I'll explain that more in depth as we go. Another way to use essential oils aromatically. This is going to be very effective even for first aid, and that's when we smell it through our nose. And then another way is that we can use it in food flavoring and things like that, which we probably won't get into much tonight. But if you are curious about that, just read the label on the bottle. It's going to tell you how you can use it in those 3 ways. And this is the reason why essential oils are so effective in the body. The first one is that they're fat soluble, all right? And our cells have this protective coating around them, which is also fat soluble. So that's why synthetic water soluble medicines can't get through. And that's how the cell protects itself from all the good stuff that's on the inside there, where you can see in those red and green graphics. But essential oils, because they're so small, they can penetrate through the cell membrane and support the health of the cell on the inside, and any threats or things that shouldn't be there or things that aren't behaving correctly, as well as things on the outside of the cell, all right? And the reason why essential oils from pure essential oils from plants are so effective in our body is because of the similarities between a plant cell, which is the green one, and a red cell, the red one, the graphic there, which is from an animal like a human, okay? Lots of similar building blocks. So when we come into contact with them, our body, they're in a familiar environment, and our body can actually utilize them in the same way that the plant was. Because at the end of the day, when a plant, when a tree breaks its limb, guess what? The sap goes to that area to protect itself from getting infected or getting, a bug in there or bacteria growing in there or something like that, right? So it's very protective. So we have essential oils that are made from saps. Frankincense is one of those, okay? So we can utilize them for our own benefits. So I'm just going to run through some very basic examples. So right now is the content of the class, and there's going to be graphics because I'm going to try to be compliant and not tell you or project what may be wrong. Because do you know why? Kids, we can only use very limited cues when we're looking at our children going, what's wrong with you? Even if they're a baby, they can't talk. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you as a parent, as a caregiver, as a mother, to trust your intuition, to trust in the plants and to trust in your intuition that as long as you're using basic safety, as in don't get it in your eye, don't get it in your ear, up your nose, and when you put it on your skin, you're diluting it with a carrier oil, you're going to be okay. All right, so this week I have gone through pretty much everything in here. We've had a really fun week. It's been a really fun week, but I've been very grateful for my oils. So for instance, my daughter's temperature got elevated. She didn't start to feel very well. I love a temperature in the body. Do you know why? That's a really good, healthy immune system. That is doing its job. Now, I would have previously given them paracetamol to bring that temperature back down. What does that do? It inhibits the body to do its job because it needs to elevate the temperature to kill the bug in the body. That's why it's doing it. We have to be mindful that we don't want it to be too hot and we don't want it to be in the head, okay? So a really great way to get the heat out of the head is to use peppermint and lemon. And I love to use peppermint and lemon. Peppermint is really, really cooling. I put just a little bit in my hand. So, okay, I'm going to teach you how I would just do it. Is that okay with you guys? I'm just going to run through it like if I was putting it on my kids. So I would get, where's my peppermint? I would just like literally, okay, so if my child was small, so say under 5, I would just be touching the top of the bottle with peppermint and then touching the top of the bottle with lemon. And then I would be doing a good squirt. Like we've totally got the whole dilution ratio covered there. Drop, squirt. And then down their spine and soles of their feet. Okay, spine, soles of the feet. It's going to pull that heat out of their head and just let their body do their thing, okay? That's doing a symptom. But why do they have the temperature in the first place? Their body's clearly working harder. Their immune system is activated. So we want to use something that's going to support that. So I would be getting out my On Guard, for starters, easy. On Guard, tea tree, oregano. They're just my core go-tos. On Guard, tea tree, oregano. Because then what I'm doing is I'm supporting the body to do what it needs to do, but then I'm also supporting the symptom, which is, oh, I'm feeling a bit hot. All right, I need to cool down. And again, with the On Guard, the tea tree and the oregano, again, just touch the top of the bottle on your palm, squirt, rub back, so down their spine, soles of their feet. You can also diffuse those ones as well, especially when they're sleeping at night. All right. This one is supposed to, like, maybe your child is like, my legs hurt, and my children are a little bit older now, this is happening a lot. So the first oil that I would recommend is something called Ice Blue. It is something that my husband uses for, sport. It's something I use if I've got like a sore hip or anything, before I run. And so it's got these beautiful properties that are great for reducing any tension in the body, including in our legs. However, I would also be mindful to add something like lemongrass. Lemongrass has been used throughout many generations for lots of properties, particularly for ligaments and tendons. And what we know with growing pains is that it's the ligaments and tendons that are stretching that's actually causing the discomfort. And so something like lemongrass, again, put the lemongrass on your palm, just a touch or a little one drop, put a squirt of the carrier oil, and guess what we're going to do? Rub it on the legs. Simple as that. All right. The other one that you would love, which can be very, very effective, is in the kids collection, is Rescuer. All right. I think this one's really, really great, especially for if they have been active in the day. Maybe they've had PE, something like that. But this has got some beautiful oils to support that as well, but still add the lemongrass. Ouch, fall over, bump, bruise, oopsie. Of course, a Band-Aid is going to be very handy, but something that I love in particular is something called Correct Dex, and I don't have it in front of me. It's a little tube, and in that tube, there is frankincense, helichrysum, cedarwood, lavender, and tea tree. And that alone, those 5 oils that I've just named, if you don't have the Correct Dex, use one of those 5 oils. Okay, because they have these amazing properties to support the skin to heal. I'm getting a chat box, but I can't see it. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to come back to that at the end. The trick with the Correct Dex ointment is put it on the inside of the Band-Aid pad and then stick it on, okay? So the problem that I normally have is I want to go and spray like essential oils on it because I have a boo-boo spray. Oh, it's a bit bright. It's just a repurposed essential oil bottle, and then I've just literally put on a little spray top, a little spritzer top. And this is really handy when it comes to grazed knees, grazed elbows, grazed chin, you know, whenever they've grazed palms, because they don't want you to touch it. And of course not, it's very painful. But in these little spritzers, I would have frankincense, I would have lavender, and I had tea tree as a bare minimum. And then I would also have things like helichrysum in there as well. Helichrysum is an anticoagulant. And an anticoagulant means it's really good at helping blood to stop oozing, okay? We call it liquid stitches. It's quite amazing. And so if it's only a little thing like this knee, I would just make my boo-boo spray and spray it on. If it needs a Band-Aid, out comes the Correct-X and straight onto the skin. All right, anyone with the little ones who have jaw discomfort, okay, this is something that happens from a very young age all the way up into toddler ages when their molars come in. This can be very, very uncomfortable. And there's some beautiful oils that we can use to support. The beautiful thing too about using natural things, because I've had a child before I had these essential oils, and she would just devour Bonjela. And I didn't know anything else. I didn't have anything else to help her outside of like a little ice sucky thing, right? And Panadol, you know, there's nothing else that I use except for those things. And then when my son came along and the oils came along, all of a sudden I found Roman chamomile and lavender and frankincense and copaiba, all beautiful oils that I could put into a little roller bottle like one of these and roll it onto the outside of the jaw, nothing going in the mouth, nothing going into the digestive system. And the beautiful thing about these oils, particularly for something like teething, is they're great for sleep too. So it's a win-win, because how often do we get teething babies who don't sleep? And now when we're using those calming oils for the jaw, like Roman chamomile, like lavender, like frankincense, even white fir or Siberian fir can be beautiful and supportive, along with copaiba. For molars, for the kids, the bigger kids, maybe the clove, a little bit heavily diluted. And if it's really, really bad, again, that helichrysum, I would go for that as well. So do you see what I'm doing here? For those who are new, please don't be overwhelmed. If you took one of the oils that I've suggested in all of those, it's still going to help. The reason I'm giving you multiple solutions for one problem is so you can start to determine what works well for you. So like for my son, it was, like I said, white fir, lavender, and Roman chamomile and frankincense, I think. I didn't have copaiba, but I know other mothers who have used other things and they've worked really, really well, okay? Or maybe you only have frankincense. We'll just use that, okay? This is obviously for any skin irritations. So the first thing, this child is obviously heavily teething. So I would focus on, I noticed that when you use the natural oils for that, the saliva calms down, then the digestive system calms down, all of the things, right? But again, I find if you use Correct-X onto skin like this, it can be a bit stingy. And so I don't recommend Correct-X. But when you make up a blend yourself with those same essential oils and say some jojoba or some fractionated coconut oil base, it can be very, very nourishing and it doesn't sting. It's beautiful, okay? So anything that's calming and soothing to the skin like frankincense and lavender, even some Roman chamomile, again, would be beautiful for babies' skins if they have any type of irritation. Okay, keeping our kids clean, I think, is a really important thing. They like to get messy, they like to get muddy, they like to touch all the things, right? And so there's one product that I have always in my handbag. Actually, where is my handbag? It must be out there. Is the On Guard Cleaning Concentrate, the On Guard Hand Sanitizing Spray. It's phenomenal. If you don't want to buy that, you can easily make your own with some On Guard essential oil, with some witch hazel, with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and water, maybe a bit of aloe vera if you don't want it to dry out too much. Beautiful, beautiful natural hand cleaners. But the beautiful thing is that we don't want to use antibacterial substances, synthetic antibacterial substances on our children, because what that's going to do is it's going to actually also kill the good bacteria on their hands and their gut flora too, which is so sensitive as a child. So if we can use essential oils that are known for their cleansing and cleaning properties, all right, like On Guard, then absolutely we can utilize those properties without the damaging effects that would come with a chemical. Now, that's why I have also brought into my home On Guard foaming hand wash that lives in our laundry, it lives in our toilet, it lives by the sink. And so after the kids go to the toilet or wash their hands or come in from playing outside, they can go and wash their hands with that foaming hand wash. It's also very easy to make. Again, On Guard. Some Castile soap, some water, simple DIY ingredients that you can make your own foaming hand wash. You don't need to go and buy toxic cleaning things from the house. The only other thing I will say is that On Guard, I hope that you will start utilizing proactively in your home and not just reactively. So when I'm going to talk, like On Guard's amazing. It's a beautiful blend. It's got wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary in it. It smells amazing, but one drop of On Guard, one squirt of carrier oil up and down your child's spine before they go to daycare, before they go to school, before you leave the house, they're going to be protected and they're not going to bring stuff back home, okay? And so even though first aid kits are designed reactively, I think there's a lot in here that can help you proactively as well. So my daughter also got attacked by a mozzie one night in her bedroom, all over her legs, itchy, 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 okay? There's a few ways to approach this. Some people love lavender, very soothing to the skin and brings down that histamine response in the body, okay? Very, very effective. But what I also find quite effective is something that's high, like peppermint or something that's got that menthol to it, because I find the cooling effect of the menthol is very effective at eliminating the itch, okay? And so adding some peppermint to the lavender and the tea tree would be very effective in something like this. I also love Purify. That is not, well, actually that comes in the Nature Solutions kit, but it is a great oil to have for bites and stings, especially from a first aid perspective, especially for things like green ants and stuff. Amazing, Purify. And what was the other one I was going to say? Oh, past tense, believe it or not, because past tense just seems to have this ability to like cool things down, take that irritation down. And we just have to be mindful that, remember, when we're past tense, even though it's in a roller bottle, it's not diluted. We have to dilute it further. So remember, again, even when it's a little thing like this, still just put it in your hand, a couple of drops of the carrier oil and dab it on that way. We just always want to dilute. Okay, so when a child is crying, there's not normally something to the medicine cabinet that we can go to. I think if I didn't know what was wrong and my child was crying and I didn't know how to help them, I would have just given them paracetamol. I wouldn't have known what else to do. It's like, maybe this will fix it. What I do now is I go to the emotional oils. We have some beautiful oils, one called Karma. And so, where is it? Yeah, Karma. So this is from the kids range. It's calming. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's a beautiful one for sleep as well. But the other big hitter in this, why won't my baby stop crying, or why won't my toddler stop crying, is Console. Console is one of our emotional oils, which is not, where is it? It's sitting over there. It's a beautiful oil. I've actually got a video of my son who was just crying, like, woo, woo. And then I let him smelt it, and he kind of went, and just took a breath. And it's those pathways up through the nose into the limbic system that disrupts the brain just enough, right, for them to kind of snap out of it a little bit, right? And they get to choose again. And you get to sit with them and you get to stay calm yourself, because that's going to help them calm down. But what I find it also helps with parents, because I get quite anxious when your child is upset and you don't know what to do. It keeps us distracted. It gives us something to go and try, right? And even if you can use any oil. Think of a petal, though. I would think of a petal or something that's floral. It's very softening. It's very calming. So even if that's lavender that you have, just trust your intuition on that one. But know that it will support you in the calming properties, but it will also support them. My daughter also complained of a headache. Now, I understand that from her, it was a big day for her and she probably didn't drink enough water and she probably got a bit dehydrated, right? And so we have to trust that we know our children. But I also know she can work herself up too from a stress perspective and from an anxious space, and that can make it worse too, okay? And so while I am giving her water, explaining to her what's going on in her body, because that I feel is the biggest gift that I can give my children, is actually so they're not scared of what's going on in their body. They can understand it a little bit better. I know that if I give her essential oils that she loves the smell of, she's going to calm down. So even if that's got nothing to do with a headache or nothing, like it's just going to make her happy, right? And that's going to make everything better. My daughter's 9 now, okay? And so, yeah, she loves fennel. I'm going to put fennel in the diffuser, but I'm also going to put some wild orange in there to make her happy. I might also get some lavender and frankincense over her temples, right? That's really going to calm down that throbbing kind of feeling that she might be having. And if she chooses to, I will also get her to put some copaiba onto her thumb and put it onto the roof of her mouth. As a 9-year-old, I would see if she wanted to do that, I would get her to do that as well, okay? Younger children, no. Older children, absolutely. I think it's amazing. And older children, again, yes, you could use peppermint, you could use past tense, heavily diluted. But I still think, for me personally, I love frankincense, I love lavender for that tension. And you can see, like, how many times have I just already talked about frankincense and lavender in so many different applications? But they really are that versatile. It's quite phenomenal. Another perfect example. I know we're coming out of summer, but like we do our best. We live by the beach, but every now and again, I missed the gap between their bathers and their rashi, and there's a bit of a red line there. And you're like, oopsie, what am I going to use? I'm going to go get my lavender out. That's my first go-to, but I'm also going to get peppermint. Why? Because normally when you get sunburn, you have this heat that's involved. And what does peppermint do? It cools. So we've got the lavender to soothe the redness, and then we've got the peppermint to cool the skin. Happy days. And if it was, really a bit of a tomato, like maybe if this is your own personal, like you've gone too much in the sun, helichrysum. Helichrysum again. Lavender, peppermint, helichrysum are my 3 go-tos for anything like this. Just amazing. Better than any after sun spray. I mean, yes, you can put some aloe in there and do all the things, but I've just found if I get the fractionated coconut oil and those one or 3 or all of those oils, the next morning you can't see it. It's just the skin's just it's happy again. Oh, this was another tip. That was the Band-Aid with the correct X. So just remember when we have a cut or a scratch or something, we don't want it to get infected. And that's why tea tree is really, really good. It's really good at cleansing the surfaces of your skin, just like it is good at cleansing the surfaces of our countertops, okay? Same. But when you put it onto an owie that you need to also Band-Aid, it's going to be too oily and the Band-Aid's not going to stick. And that's why I love the Correct X if it needs a Band-Aid, because the Correct X will go onto the pad of that Band-Aid and you can stick it on. If it's just like something that just needs air and just needs to be sanitized, so it's not going to like get infected and the body can do its job to heal, make up a little spray, a boo-boo spray, with as many different skin oils as you possibly can. Again, minimum frankincense, lavender, tea tree, minimum. But go nuts. Put your blue tansy in there. Put your Roman chamomile in there. Put your cedarwood in there. Put your sandalwood in there. What else? Put your helichrysum in there. Put your rose in there. You can go nuts. Put your yarrow plum in there. All right, also, snuffly nose. Now, this could be from seasonal threats. This could be because there's a lot of pollen in the air. It could be, say, for instance, it's that. Say, for instance, you know that there's a trigger that's causing it. 3 oils that are naturally going to reduce that antihistamine, will activate that antihistamine response in the body. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. They're amazing, these little trios for that. And so you can do 2 things. You can either put those 3 in the diffuser, have them diffusing in the air so the whole family will benefit from that, or you can put a little bit of each, maybe even a drop of each, big squirt of coconut oil and all over their chest. And so that they're basically breathing in that themselves, and it's also supporting them topically as well. Now, if it's more a congestion thing, I've got lots of suggestions here, so I hope you're ready. Most people will think of Easy Air. So Easy Air is a blend that I hope every family has. It comes in all of our starter kits. It smells a lot like Vicks because it's got the eucalyptus and the tea tree and laurel and ravensara. It's beautiful, so gentle, so nourishing, opening up the airways. Sweet. That's really good. But there's so many other things that you can do. So I loved steam. So ways you can use steam is if they're really little and they still have baths, have the shower going and put the Easy Air on the floor of the shower, and so the bathroom will fill up with steam, okay? You do not need a humidifier in their bedroom putting moisture in the air while they're sleeping. It's too much. And when you have too much moisture in a thing like a bedroom, it creates mold and a whole lot of cascading, devastating other health side effects. So if you have a humidifier, get rid of it. A diffuser is more than enough, and it adds enough, I guess, a little bit of moisture. Obviously, that little tray does disappear over the night, but it's not going to be enough to make the walls wet or the windows wet or the soft furnishings wet and moldy either. So steam's good. Another thing you can do is get a mug, boiling water. This is the only time ever I will recommend utilizing boiling water with essential oils, because it's only going to last maybe a minute because it's all going to evaporate, because the hot water is going to make the essential oil evaporate really, really fast. And I would put a drop of Easy Air in that mug, a drop of peppermint in that mug, a drop of rosemary, a drop of eucalyptus, some lemon in that mug, right? And you have to cover your eyes because the steam will sting that. So get a little tissue, but just allow that steam to waft up through the nose. Very, very effective. You don't need the tea towel. You don't, like, it's strong enough. As I said, these oils are potent. doTERRA essential oils are very, very potent. You just need a little bit, cover the eyes and let the steam come up. Some other things you can do is applying them over the bridge of the nose and the sinuses topically. So for things like this, I really love tea tree and lemon. I don't put Easy Air on the skin. I find that too abrasive. It's quite strong. But I find the tea tree and the lemon really, really effective around the ears, over the sinuses, with carrier oil again, okay? But that's going to just help all of that kind of drain out and do its thing. Another one I really love, past tense. Again, past tense has this beautiful menthol in it. And if you just literally take off the lid and smell it, it's like a nasal stick. You don't have to put it on your skin. You're not diffusing it. You just have to smell it, and it's going to open up that airways. And finally, the last one that I really recommend for any kind of congestion is the respiratory application of Symphony of the Cells. Now, this is more in-depth journey on essential oils, but I highly recommend Symphony of the Cells when it comes to that. The final one, there's one more, Digest Zen. So even though Digest Zen is a really great oil for digestive complaints, we'll get to that in a minute as well. There's a few oils in there, particularly like the ginger. It's like this anti-mucolytic. It's really good at like breaking down kind of mucus. And so yes, you could put Digest Zen topically diluted over the bridge of the nose as well, or even just in the belly button. The only thing I will say that when you're working with small children or toddlers or babies, obviously you have to be mindful of the smaller the child, the more dilution you have to use. And also you can just put it on their feet, right? You can just put it on their feet because the reflexology points covers everything anyway. So a good little foot massage and the diffuser going can be extremely effective for even things like respiratory support. So sleep. I could just throw 60 different oils at them for sleep. But we know that when a child is unwell, they need to sleep. And so when Emma wasn't well, I gave her a Symphony of the Cells application before she went to bed. I put the diffuser on and she went to bed at 6:30. Now this is my daughter's struggles to go to sleep. She literally slept for 13 hours. She woke up at 7:30 and she was like, "Mummy, I feel amazing." And she wanted to go to school. Like I thought I was going to have her home. But no, she went to school the next day, right? So a good night's sleep can be the best thing that we can do for our children to help them to heal and rejuvenate and get better, right? We all know rest is really, really important, but how can we encourage that? We're using relaxing oils. Lavender can be great, but it might not work for your child. Calmer, again, in here with the kids one is wonderful. Console is another beautiful, really calming blend. A lavender peace is another beautiful, calming blend. Sometimes blends are really a great way to start with for sleep because it's already got the oils in there that we know are encouraging of that restful night's sleep. If you really want something potent, especially for little ones, Roman chamomile. I mean, we had chamomile tea at bedtime because it's calming. Imagine what that concentrated form of that essential oil is going to do. Just one drop, strong stuff, right? And then you can go to the sedative oils like vetiver or cedarwood. Really, really, really beautiful and supportive. But it could just be lavender. Whatever it is, play around. Your children will let you know what they want to use at bedtime. They're very intuitive in this way. But I highly recommend using essential oils and diffusing while they're sleeping because that's when their body's trying to heal. And so if they can be breathing in these either immune supporting oils like On Guard and Easy Air and oregano and tea tree and things, perfect. Even thyme might be amazing, especially if it's more chesty and creepy. Yeah, most of the time it's just, let's just keep it really simple and get them a good night's sleep. Okay, if for instance they're complaining of a sore ear, or if you know that this is something that children are prone to, there's definitely a few beautiful oils that we can utilize for them complaining about a sore ear. This might be happening after swimming. It could be happening because of congestion. We don't know. We don't know, right? So the things that I jump on straight away, tea tree, okay, purify, lavender, and basil, and helichrysum. threw a few newbies in there for you there, but those handfuls I will try. And so I might just use tea tree to start with. Awesome. If I know that it maybe is progressing, I might just touch the top of the bottle of each of them on my hand, using a little bit of each of them, making my own blend. Squirt a carrier oil and then rubbing that around the ear. The main thing to remember is we never put it in the ear, just around the ear, okay, and even down the throat. And what you could also do is put a drop of tea tree, for instance, on a cotton wool ball and just place it on the opening of the ear. But what I find is, because these things can escalate quite quickly, and so just keep an eye on them. Like, obviously, if their behavior changes, if they start hitting a temperature, all this kind of things, you've got to, use common sense and seek secondary advice if you need to. But at the same time, if you can go to the essential oils first, apply this before they go to bed, for instance, and then see how they wake up, like, isn't that a great way to support them without adding extra toxic load in their body? So sore tummies, this could be something that, your children could just complain about. And it could be because they've eaten something they shouldn't have. Maybe they've had too much gluten or dairy or sugar, or maybe it's something else that's happening in there that's making their stomach feel unwell. Whatever's going on, my first go-to is always digestion. Always, always. Digestion, again, is in all of our starter kits. It's just such a beautiful oil blend that is great for the digestive system. 1 drop of digestion, a squirt of carrier oil, and a clockwise tummy massage. The reason why it's clockwise is because it is going to work with the direction of the digestive system. But the other thing to understand is if you know that it's not food related, but maybe like it's got a bug in there, I would also be using oregano. Because again, we're not looking at the symptom, we're looking at the cause, right? And I know if there's something in the body that I don't want to be in the body, I'm going to oregano because that bad boy is going to knock it out, right? And so I'm getting nods. And so again, you don't need a lot and you have to dilute it, but please trust in it, that it will do a beautiful job. And again, using that oregano with the digestion is really beautiful. We've done the sore elbow thing, haven't we? We've done the, if it's pain, like as in I've hurt myself and I've fallen over, then we want to go to the boo-boo blend, right? We want to go for the skin blends. If it's like achy joint pain, then we want to go for things like some ice blue or the rescuer, or even just some frankincense and lavender. I'm pretty sure we could just have frankincense and lavender for everything. If a child is having trouble concentrating, this could be a lot of things. My son is probably definitely in this category, and I find grounding and calming oils the best for him. Also, omegas. So we have the doTERRA liquid omega. I find great for his brain and his concentration. But as far as going to school and getting him to concentrate on anything for more than 3 seconds, adaptive is amazing. Patchouli, vetiver, cedarwood, like literally oils that you think are going to put someone to sleep, I put on him before he goes to school so he can concentrate because they're so wonderful for the brain. They're so wonderful for the brain. And then the other one, if you just want one to go be able, just get In Tune. Like In Tune is our focus blend and it just covers everything. It's got the sandalwood in there. It's got the patchouli in there. It's got, I'm actually literally wearing In Tune right now. It's a beautiful blend. And so, yeah, just go for that. Crying, again, we kind of covered that one already. If they're upset, go to the emotional oils, go to the calming oils. Make sure you're supporting yourself too, because it can be very upsetting as a parent when you see your child upset. But if it's a tantrum and things, all I will say to you as a parent is look at the emotion and not the behavior, okay? Sometimes they might lash out and hit and things like that, and we have to address that, but understand where it's coming from as well. You know, oils aren't going to be the fix-all for everything. We have to learn some parenting skills around teaching them how to work with their emotions, but I feel teaching them how to take a deep breath. You know, teaching them to like breathe can often interrupt that pathway, even if you don't have an essential oil that can help them. If it's an emergency, go to a doctor, all right? If you need stitches, go to a doctor, okay? My son split his ear open. It was bleeding. He needed 4 stitches in his ear, okay? There are some things essential oils can't do. However, essential oils can keep you calm while that's going on, okay? So maybe you need some emotional oils to deal with the stress of everything. And helichrysum is really, really handy for these types of emergencies to plug the hole before the doctors get to you, okay? If your child is struggling to breathe, if you feel like they're going limp, if you feel like there's, like, you know, as a mother, you're not on top of it, take them to a doctor, take them to the emergency department. This is not about being negligent. This is about knowing the tools and the resources that you have available and feeling empowered that you can maybe do something before they get to this position. You know what I mean? And the quicker you can catch something, I've got so many beautiful stories from mothers who are no longer in this position because they take a proactive approach to their child's health. And that could be because they are eliminating triggers that are causing this in the first place, be it from the environment and toxins, be it through their diet. but also they've got natural things that they can utilize to support it before things build up and turn really nasty. Okay, so just take care of your body. It is the only place we have to live. Please know that you're always going to have options. And in my opinion, having a box of essential oils is not only my go-to when it comes to anything that happens reactively in my family, but it's literally my go-to every day, proactively from a mental health perspective, and anything else that I could potentially wish for too. So we have some essentials. They're called the home essentials. You've heard me talk about every single one of these essential oils. That was not by chance, that was by accident. That's literally because, like I said, they do so much. And these oils come in different size kits at different price points. At the moment, we have, At the moment, we have 20% off all of our starter kits. The last time this happened was like 2 years ago. It does not happen very often. And so if you do, or you know someone who needs these oils in their life, share this recording with them. If you've come through Ikigai Oils, reach out to me. You just need to do it by Saturday lunchtime, and you can get one of these kits at 20% off of wholesale prices, which is amazing, amazing savings. So that Home Essentials kit is $271 now instead of $339. And it also comes in the smaller kit, which is $147, which is the same 10 oils for $147. It's amazing, amazing savings. But maybe you also love the kids kit, and that actually comes with a free wholesale account until Saturday lunchtime as well. And so you can actually have like their immune system supported, their body supported, their emotions supported, and their concentration and their brain supported, all in this pre-diluted, ready to go. Don't have to think about it, just have some solutions for them. And also please know that if you are watching this and it is April still, that there is a free gift with any order over 200 points, and it's a portable diffuser, which I just love. I've got it here, it's amazing, and a citrus twist blend. So you will love that gift as well. But please understand that once you have these oils, and if you're already a member, that there's so much further education, and this video is just one of those examples. But those who are in our community, in the Ikigai tribe, and so many other communities out there as well. So I'm sure if you're in a different team, you have these too. And if not, reach out, because we'll be able to look to your upline and find it for you, because I know we all look after our customers as long as you know that we exist. We'll have Facebook support pages, we'll have ebooks, we'll have apps, we'll have team calls, we'll have resources for you so you can get the results that you're looking for in your family, and that you know that when you make an investment in these essential oils, they're going to serve you for many, many years to come, okay? And thank you so much for your time tonight. And if you want to stay connected, please follow me on social media. If you need these oils in your life and I am your connection into doTERRA, please give me a call and I can help you in the next 48 hours. If that's someone else, please reach out to them. And thank you so much for your time. I'm not sure if I got in that 45 minutes or not, but I think I'm really, really close. And it's been such an honor. Thank you so much again. My name is Hayley Weezy. My business profile is Ikigai Oils. And yeah, keep in touch. I'm going to stop the recording now. I'm going to go through the Q&A. Actually, no, let's go through the Q&A with the recording, because there might be some interesting stuff for people, if that makes sense. Sorry, I missed it all. I couldn't see both while I was doing it. Mel's asking about helichrysum. Let me know if I haven't answered that question. Which temperatures, how often do you apply? Oh, great question. How often do you apply? So the beautiful thing is it's kind of as much as you need. So normally I'd find every 2 to 4 hours, or I might do morning and night, or I might just do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It just depends. If they're heating back up again and I feel like they need it again, I'll reapply it for it to come back down again. Because it's not a drug, you don't have to wait the 4 hours or the 8 hours or whatever it says to take it. You can literally just reapply it. But what I do find with the temperature is if I'm approaching the heat with the cooling oils, but also the immune oils, I may only have to do it once, right? I may not have to reapply. Lemon eucalyptus in the diffuser for mozzies. Beautiful, Mel. Great idea. Proactive approach to getting rid of mozzies, right? Lemon eucalyptus. You can literally go and find studies, scientific studies done on using lemon eucalyptus essential oil. That's not lemon and eucalyptus. It is lemon eucalyptus, one word. And the deterrent of mosquitoes is quite phenomenal. I think it's 90% over 4 hours on the skin at a really low dilution ratio. Insane. Is Karma on the Aussie side? Yes. So Karma is in the kids kit, and I think as of next month it is available for individual sale. That was something that was being announced through doTERRA. So you will be able to purchase these kids oils individually, I think as of next month, but I'll just have to check that for you. I don't have kids, but these ideas are great for adults too. Of course, Tamika, of course. It's a first aid kit. We all have the same things happen to us. I think just kids are a bit more accident prone than I've found. They announced that they were available individually. Oh, thank you, Mel, for answering Ali's question. And Leonie, oh, you guys are awesome. I find frankincense great on the roof of the mouth for headaches too. Yes, Tamika, yes, 100%. I recommended copaiba for Emma just because of a taste profile, in all honesty. Frankincense is a little bit stronger for her. She finds it a little bit bleh. But yes, you could have, I like frankincense for that exact same thing. And in fact, I like both. I like frankincense and copaiba under the tongue. You give it 30 minutes, Mel's like, yeah, that's the go-to. It's gone. Lavender and peppermint spray is great for headaches. Beautiful, Leonie. So do you just like spray that around your head? Or in the room?
Yes, or on the back of your neck. It's
yeah.
It just seems to, I don't know, does it for me.
So that's like more of a tension headache, right? So it's coming in through the shoulders and up through the back. And so by releasing that tension, because we know peppermint and lavender are so great for that. Yeah. Digest sand is also amazing for, oh, you got in before I finished off with that one. See, you're switched on, aren't you? See?
Sorry.
No, I think it's great. Mel loves balance. Her kids love balance at bedtime. Yes. So, okay, middle of the night croup. Ali, are you still on here? Maybe she's already dropped off. Oh, you're still here, darling. So, thyme and marjoram. Thyme and marjoram I would recommend for something like that. And depending on which child and what age, I would even get them to breathe it in through the mouth. And how I do that is I put a drop of each in my hand and rub it together, and then I cup it like a little cup. And then I just hold it in front of their mouth and ask them to breathe in, right? Like they're sucking through a straw. And I don't touch their skin with that. I just get them to breathe that air in. Also, anything that's going to give them oxygen. Now, you will try easy air with your children. It depends on the child. Some children love it and instantly opens up their airways. Other children, or adults, it can be quite irritating because it's quite strong, okay? So if easy air works, awesome. If not, you go for frankincense and things like Douglas fir. So tree oils are nourishing and opening the airways, where easy air is a bit more forceful at opening the airways. Both will do that effectively, but you can play with either one of those. But again, thyme and marjoram diluted over the chest, thyme and marjoram over the soles of their feet, and you can get them to breathe it in. You could diffuse it as well. Try those too. You're all very welcome. Thank you for joining me. When do you dilute with water? And so diluting, you can't dilute essential oils with water because oil and water doesn't mix. So, and do you dilute with carrier oil? So when I talk about dilution, it's always with a fat-based oil. So this could be jojoba oil, rosehip oil, could be olive oil if you want to stink and be and slimy, but that will dilute the carrier oil for skin. The reason I say olive oil, because if you're in the kitchen and you've got oregano in your eye, go to the cupboard and get olive oil, like, to wash it out. What happens when we put water onto essential oils? It penetrates it into the body. Now, this can actually be a really good thing. So, for instance, when I do Symphony of the Cells, the very last step that I do after I've done all the oils and they've got carrier oil and it's protected their skin is I get a hand towel, like a flannel hand towel, like from the bathroom. I put it under hot water and I lie over their back like you're in a day spa. And what that does is it actually intensifies the oils and pushes it into the body even faster. So if you need to, this is probably more something you would do with older children or adults. You could have a shower after putting essential oils on. It's going to drive the oils deeper into the body, but it's not going to dilute it. So it's probably got the opposite effect. Dilution calms it for the body. It makes it more gentler and longer lasting. Water intensifies it to the body and drives it deeper. Does that help, Ali? I hope I've answered that okay for you. Milk is good for oils now. So yeah, milk, it's fat, right? So you could even get some milk if you want to splash it over the face. But I'd probably, I think a cold pressed type of plant oil, so like an olive or a coconut is normally the last one. Last question, what is the dilution of the spritz? Great question, Ali. Coconut oil, that's it. I just put coconut oil in the spritz and put the essential oils in there. So it's literally, I could put it in a roller bottle. The reason I don't is because most of the time with a boo-boo, kids don't want you to touch it. And so you can just spray it on and know that it's going to cover that whole surface area. Sorry, I just hit the... So if I was to make a room mist, or if I was going to make a face mist, and like, yeah, I could put a little bit of coconut oil in there, some water. I wouldn't have to make, you know, you'd want a lighter spritzer. You could put some witch hazel in there if you wanted to. Play around with it, but I just keep it really simple. Yeah. Any other questions before we finish up? Feel free to unmute. Did you find today helpful?
It was awesome. 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 Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And coming from you, Leonie, who had the oils for a very long time, I take that as a big compliment.
Oh, shucks.
All right, everyone. Well, you have a beautiful night. Thank you for everyone who has stayed up late to join me. And I love and appreciate you all. Have fun utilizing these in lots of different ways. And feel free to, like, if you're on social media, tag me, right? Tag Ikigai Oils in anything that you're doing. I'd love to see it. All right, everyone. Bye.